Can you heal from infidelity? This is a little challenging because it's not one size fits all, and we are taught in our social structures, that someone who strays from the path of monogamy is somehow going to be considered evil. And I don't believe that that is actually true. I think that there's a lot of different things that kind of come into play before infidelity happens. And I am not condoning infidelity, but there's a lot of things that happen before that. So before you go into that conversation, you are going to want to strive to be a little bit of a latitudinarian, really open and tolerant and open-minded to a new thought process. It starts with what is the structure of the relationship. Meaning, if the structure of the relationship is pure monogamy, then stepping out of that and being abusive of that and mistrusting that, then that's a problem. That it genuinely is a problem. But remember that if we just kind of make an assumption that these are our rules without speaking about it, without getting to know their mind and getting to know the content of their heart and of their character, sometimes we just kind of jump into these relationships because we feel like there's a lot of attention going to me, and we love how that feels, without seeing a lot of the signs of poor communication, not being trustworthy, and more. So we really want to go backward a little bit. We're not blaming us, the person who was cheated on, but I do want you to go inward to say, was I able to see any of these signs ahead of time? And if the answer is legitimately no, then we have to take another perspective to say, okay, so then how can I learn what some of those signals were? How can I learn that? But to be honest, you more than likely are going to catch some of those signs. How do we start with healing that? You start with allowing yourself to experience pain, to experience anger, because they stepped out on your trust. They stepped out on what the social contract of your relationship was. They stepped out of that. Am I telling you to stay or am I telling you to go? No, because that is your choice. But I do believe that if you choose to stay, you must rebuild everything. Rebuild everything. And if you choose to rebuild everything, you must rebuild everything. They have to start from genuinely wanting to rebuild, and you have to start by genuinely trying to allow them to rebuild. But pay attention to those nuances again. If they say, honey, this is never going to happen again, are you once again being glamored by signs that you picked up on before but you ignored? Because if you are, my suggestion is to leave. If they are unfaithful and they leave your relationship, what can you learn from that experience? What can you learn from your pain? What can you learn from all the subtleties that I realizing I can pick up on now? What can I learn from that? And how can you change from that? I don't want you to hate everyone. I don't want you to be angry forever. I want you to change. Change. I want you to understand what imbalances look like. I can see that person is not very regulated. They're not offering me the things that I know are sustainable to me. Therefore, no matter how glamored I am, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Now, granted, there's a lot more information based on this. It is going to be subjective. If you want any assistance, let me know. I would be happy to help.